Okay, so we're back with another top 5, and this one's come pretty easy to me because of recent events. So we're talking about games that might not have been horrible. Actually, just everything I list on this list that I'm doing right now is pretty fun in a lot of ways. However, before the game arrived, the hype was real. Not only that, but many sites and critics were ready to give this title, or these titles I'm about to list, rave reviews. So, these are the titles that may still have been good or fun to a lot of people, including myself, but didn't come close to the amazement shown in the trailers and news articles. So, let's get to it. The top 5 games that were just not living up to the hype and were ultimately a letdown. So, number 5 is definitely Fable. Now, a lot of people enjoyed Fable 1, including myself. It had a fun world, neat design, and tight controls. However, people expected the world to be a lot more alive, more repercussions to each choice we made, more customizations, more, and this is the key word, everything. The game came at a baffling 12-hour adventure for an RPG. That's just not up to par with the other amazing RPGs that came out, I don't know, 20 years before it.
Oh, we got a long way to go. Oh, and there's no going back to the life we lived, the life we used to know. We got a long way to go.
Definitely number 4 is Final Fantasy 13. Now, some of you out there listening might have been upset with Final Fantasy 10 or 12, but none had a big downfall in terms of critics, sites, and general fan base than Final Fantasy 13, and that's without its 2 lackluster sequels. Final Fantasy 10 and 12 respectively got rave reviews from many critics and has a pretty big fan base, and I can assure you that 10 and 12 are liked more than 13. So, saying that, Final Fantasy 13 had the makings of a good game, but was bogged down with ridiculously stupid story, linear and bland environments, and more flash than substance. Many Final Fantasy fans were disappointed, and the critics followed with them. Number 3 is undoubtedly Too Human. I was one of the 10 people who enjoyed this title. It had interesting lore, fun co-op experience, and a cool world to explore. Still, it could have been more, or better yet, should have been so much more. The loot system was fun, but needed more fine-tuning. The controls were definitely a mixed bag among just about everybody, and the story ended just as it was getting good. And we know there's no sequel ever coming out, so we're never going to get what the fuck is going to happen with this story. With so much hype surrounding this one, and a lot of hope based on the developer's previous work, this one failed to live up even close to the hype, was panned by critics, and many fans were very upset. Assassin's Creed. Now, Assassin's Creed was a great first title for me. It was a fun world, I thought it was pretty cool gameplay, and an interesting story for the most part. However, it was repetitive as hell, and that crazy stupid ending just pissed off almost every person in the world. Not to mention, the Desmond parts were just a big FU to us. I mean, come on, Ubisoft. So, they revamped it all with Assassin's Creed 2, and it shined like a little beautiful star that it was. But the hype surrounding Assassin's Creed 1 as the next big game changer, when in reality it was just a test of a game because the real ones came later. It was really just an interesting idea, or a couple of interesting ideas, but ultimately, the game was pretty much panned by critics and fans alike, and if not totally shitted on, we basically said this was definitely expecting much better. Luckily, Ubisoft came back in a big way.
I won't waste myself on you. Waste myself on you.
Number 1 is easily Destiny. Without a doubt, both by critics and fans alike, this game takes the crown for the biggest letdown ever for a big production game. How does the game changer, the creator of the FPCs that basically made console online shooting, let's be honest, and a wonderful co-op experience on the Xbox One, we were about to get their brand new bad boy. Exciting, right? Every news article, every gamer was ready to experience this one, even fans who didn't like Halo. Instead, we got the most grinding gameplay, world filling with boring mother effing terrains and a terrible story. Critics either just said it was garbage or downright average, with a few good scores trickling in because of the potential. The people spoke out though and said it was simply a weak game from the creators of Halo, and I 100% agree with those people. So there's my list, guys. Now, some of you might agree, some of you might be like, go fuck yourself. But honestly, these are games that had way more hype in the beginning, and then they dwindled into release and were shitted on. So despite these games all being mostly liked by fans and mostly actually considered pretty good, none of these lived up to the hype. So you can go check on Metacritic. All these games were expected to be the 9 out of 10s, the 9.5s, and the 10s out of 10, and they all are below that, with the highest being probably Final Fantasy 13. If that doesn't speak volumes, my friends, I just don't know. So, yeah, if you have games that you want to list that actually make sense, don't put stuff like Last of Us or Uncharted or Mass Effect, because as much as you may have disliked the game or were let down, this is for games that are universally felt let down by critics, websites, human beings, gamers, and just about every friggin' news article out there. Everyone have a good one, and I will be back.